Hey guys, welcome back to CloudRaga. So we were talking about some application of function interface. In previous video, we talked about what's the requirement and where you can implement this function interface. So requirement is quite um, kind of complex initial if you're working with lambda expression first time. So if you have a student name and marks, you can definitely print that. That's not an issue. But how to get grade? So that's logic for that. And this logic goes inside apply method. So apply method will take input as a student, it will process it and generates output, and this grade will be of string type, and here student will be of object type or student type is fine, right? So on the same principle we will create our this whole thing, but even before that we have to create student class. So let's quickly create that new class student, done. Then private string name, then marks. Okay, done. Then let's create a tester for this. Student tester. Let's create main method. Done. Then we have a requirement. This function goes like a r apply empty. Okay. So function is the one which takes the type. In input type is student type. So we'll pass student here. R is going to be, or return type is going to be string type. So string. Done. And there goes f. Okay, f. Okay, not f. So we can take this as f, and here the input type is student, so I'll just call this to arrow. Now it's an object, so I can call some methods on it, right? But because it's going to be multiple lines of code, because we have to write this kind of logic here. So if stu dot get marks greater than or equals to 90, right? 90. So return in double quotes, return a, and done. Now what if it is something else, right? So we can say else if, and I can take this block, paste after this. So this will say if it is 80, so returns b. And now I can take this else block, paste, paste, and paste. So it's for c, d, and e. So if it is greater than 70, so get c. If it is 50, get d. If it is greater than 40 and this, it gets this. And then semicolon. Oh, my bad. I didn't notice I was giving the string. It's in time. So let's remove these status cutters and let's run them again. Okay. So it's done. Now stu needs some object. Or if it is, let's write else condition, the last condition. If it is not even 40, so return fail. Okay, so this is the logic we are going to work on, and then we can call this apply function. So we will create one object of student. So student equals new, and to create object, let's create constructor for this, like we always do. That's more convenient than certificates. So fields this, done. Okay, so constructors are ready. Let's create instance of student by using its constructor. So name, let's take ram, and marks, let's say 95. Okay, so object is ready. Now I want to print the details. So how to do that? We'll say this is out. It's a one object, so let's do this in one place. So name equals, I'll say student name gets print by this way. Then I'll say marks, so get marks. That's also straightforward, right? What about grades? Because it's not a field here. So we will get grades from the function, this function interface from the apply. So we'll say the grade for that student is not student dot, it's not there. We have to call f dot apply and pass that object, the whole object. And then what? Run this code. So right click, run as application, and we are getting grade A. If I change it to something else, let's say 15, run this code one more time, we are getting fail. If we are giving something like 55 in between something, so it's getting D because it's greater than 50 but not giving there. So of course it's not that perfect condition, but at least we are maintaining it. We can have one more way to writing this whole thing. Just want to make it simple, straightforward, that we have to return this whole thing. So idea was getting this data from student and processing it. So that's how we can apply for one student. What about this whole collection? Okay, my bad. One more thing we can do, instead of taking student, let's make it integer, because I was thinking to make it that way, but that's fine. This time it's going to be marks, and this marks will get replaced by this thing, because initially I was thinking let's create a collection, but I realized let's do this one object with one object first, then later in next example we can do this. So we can replace this whole input as an integer. So input is integer and we will get string. So input is marks, and same thing happens here. I'll copy this get marks, and in student I'll pass this student dot get marks. Okay, this won't impact anything, just changing the types, and there it goes. And if I change it to something else like 95, execute the code, and we're getting it. So that's how we can write a simple a functionality for apply function. Okay, that's it for this video. Let's meet next video for with the collections type.